Hello, everyone. This is Linda K. Edwards from New Me, New You. We help to educate, enrich, empower, and inspire. We focus on personal and business development to help you to become better than yesterday and to unlock your potential by giving you resources, information, referrals. We do outreach and we facilitate in person and virtual events. Tonight, we have a topic called Minds of Men. And we have two wonderful gentlemen joining us today, and we'll be discussing such. But before we do, I always start out with a prayer. Father God, we thank you for giving us all that we have and all that you're going to give us. In Jesus' name we pray, amen and amen. Okay, so gentlemen, how do you balance work and family responsibilities? Jay.
I feel like for me, I kind of just it's easy for me to turn it off once I clock out. Once I get home, I feel like it's a good just just kind of like a switch for me. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot more natural. I wouldn't know how to explain it more in depth, but I feel like for me, it's just a natural switch.
Okay. Okay. So Juan, I'm going to ask you. So how do you approach um, parenting, and what values do you aim to instill in your nieces and nephews?
Yeah, so parenting, I'm not really a parent myself yet, but I'm somebody who eventually will become a parent and I'm looking forward to that. And I could come from an experience of, listening to what my parents say and stuff like that and, going based on whatever they tell me, I listen and that's usually like something that you see and it's like you know, there's such a great father. I have a big father figure. So it's like somebody that I look up to, and also a mother who always provided for us. So that's something who I want to be for my child in the future. That's how basically I go off based off that. It's just pretty much just learning from them too, and and being the best person I can be.
I, I love that. I respect that. Do you have any nieces and nephews?
No, I don't have any nieces or
No.
nephews as of yet. Actually, I have a nephew, but he's a newborn, so I don't really have the chance
Oh,
to get in contact with him. He's back in the homeland.
wow. Well, your children are going to have a lucky father. They're going to be glad to have a wonderful.
Hopefully.
So I'm going back to you, Jay. What hobbies or activities do you enjoy in your free time?
Oh man. I have a couple. Mostly gaming. That's what I do in my free time, a lot of my free time. But I take up guitar, piano, I skateboard a little bit. Um, uh, Aside from that, I feel like I just focus on those hobbies mainly, but I try to get into, I'm pretty open-minded. I like to get into multiple things. I'm not really restricted to anything specifically, but yeah, I like to get into a lot of things.
Wonderful. Like to do new things, try and explore and what's what. That's awesome. Okay, Juan, how do you handle stress and maintain mental well-being?
The way I handle stress is knowing that eventually everything will get better. No matter how low you are in life, anything that you might be going through, you just got to keep a right mind and know that no matter how stressful the situation is, anything that might be happening, it's only gonna get better. If you're at the bottom, it's only one way out.
Wow, that's huge. Okay, so now we're going to go into culture. Okay, so what cultural practices, and this is to Jay, or traditions do you actively participate in?
Sorry, Ms. Can you repeat that question again? It kind of lagged a little.
Hmm.
This is to Jay.
Yep.
What cultural practices or traditions do you actively participate in?
As in, give me an example.
Like
Like for you, what do
any
you do?
traditions, like anything that like how you guys do something within your culture. Like you are from, you can tell everyone.
Yeah, actually, maybe the Dominican Day Parade that's coming up. That's usually something that me and my family like to go to.
Okay.
Um, it's a yearly thing, you know. It gets pretty lively because there's people from this obviously the same country, but it's, you know, different parts of the country, so it's a lot of diversity, even though we're all from the same place.
Right.
But it gets pretty lively, it gets pretty cool. And you know, it's interesting to hear about other people's perspectives. Even though we're all from the same place, there's a lot of like differences, even though we're all from the same spot, you know?
No,
But
that's absolutely, I understand. So, okay, this is to you, Juan.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel your cultural identity shapes your interactions with others?
Miss Linda, being Dominican is something that I'm very proud of. I'm from the Dominican Republic. You know, anywhere I go, I try to, you know, represent that I'm Dominican, and that's something I really stand up for. And you know, most people enjoy, you know, being around me, and it's like, oh yeah, you're Dominican, you know, and they're like, oh yeah, I could tell because of the way you look and the way you talk, and it's like, you know, it's something that really stands out of me, and wherever I go, I really try to rep that I am, you know, from the Dominican Republic. So it really helps me and boosts my confidence and all of that, knowing that I am Dominican.
And that's awesome. You are an awesome individual, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to overall perspectives. This is for Jay. You
mm,
ready, Jay? So
that's
how
me.
do you believe the role of men in society is evolving?
Uh, I feel like for father figures, it's a lot of eyes on them because change, like there's constant changes, you know, not just in the way people think, but the way things are, you know, like generational changes, like with social media, and a lot of cultures also change. So, you know, I feel like people nowadays just kind of got used to rolling with the punches. So it's like it's a lot of stress for them specifically because compared to past generations, you know, it's they were all like made a certain way, not made a certain way, but brung up a certain way. So to bring that into a new generation, like for the younger kids now, it's a lot more of a different perspective. But I feel like it's, oh man. Yeah, no, it's all eyes on dad, man. They just got to take care of their kids. That's really all it is.
Oh, right. Okay, so this is for you, Juan. I'm gonna go back into family and how do you approach parenting? Oh no, I did ask you that. I'm sorry. Can you share a memorable family moment that had a significant impact on you?
Yeah, so you know, honestly, I would say my first time really experiencing, you know, like I don't know if this is gonna be like appropriate to bring up, but like death, because I remember when my great grandmother she passed away, we all came as family, even Jacob included, and we was all you met in one house, and it was like remembering that person's life, like you know, as a family, we all saw there, and we all to this day still miss her. Um, it was really the first time that I've seen somebody pass away, and you know, understanding that we're all human beings, and the only thing that's certain in life is you know death. So, you know, being there and remembering that person was something that you know, as a family, we all came together and grieved that person. So it was like the first time that I really experienced something of that nature. So as a family, I'll say that was like my first experience um of like so like as a family. That's what we learned. Yeah.
Right. So you got closeness, togetherness.
Yeah,
But
all together.
I want to just say my condolences to you and your family, and that you get comfort, healing, strength, understanding, because it's not easy to lose a loved one, and then sometimes you don't get to spend a lot of time with family and friends the way you want to, and then when that happens, you kind of feel a little guilty, but you shouldn't because at least you know that you love them in your heart. And I'm glad you got to experience to be together, even though it was an unfortunate event, but at the same time, you got to be together. Um, Jay, let's see with Jay. How do you pass down cultural knowledge and traditions to the next generation?
Oh, I mean, for me, I feel like what I could pass down, I mean, man, feel like it really just depends on how you're brought up, you know? Like certain things that your parents could do. Like, for example, my mom, she likes to have, get-togethers every once in a while. It, I mean, they include Juan's family too, but they'll like to have like get-togethers at my house every once in a while. My mom would like to cook. She'll like to have everyone over, like we'll listen to music and the kids will just play in a specific room. Everyone's eating, everyone's drinking, everyone's having fun. So I feel like that's definitely something that I am passing down on my behalf, to my kids. If I mean, I'm gonna have kids, but eventually when I do get to that point. But that's definitely something I want to pass down, being together as a family, knowing that even though you can go through things alone, it's always good to have someone to be there for you. And families, I feel like for me, family is a pretty big part of that. Um, but yeah, I feel like the family togetherness for me is something that I would bring down.
Yeah, it's very important, very, very important, and that's what a lot of families should be focusing on, especially today, with the things that are going on in the world and what have you. So, I agree with you. I'm the same way. Family means everything to me. Um, okay, so Juan, we're back to you. What advice would you give to younger men navigating today's world?
Um, I feel like the greatest advice that anybody could ever receive is knowledge. You got always gotta be hungry to learn new things. Whether don't be scared if it's starting from scratch. If you start, that's really all that matters. Hit that start button and learn, man. No matter what trade could be, building a house, electricity, being kind to people, anywhere. You just have to learn and start somewhere. If you start and you're hungry to learn, you're gonna go up. It's only up from there.
That's some great advice and great wisdom. Jay,
Hmm.
you were something else. Um, what are your views on gender roles and how they affect relationships and family dynamics?
I feel like now that can be a very touchy subject because sometimes it can be up for interpretation as to who does what.
Right.
But I feel like it's still very important to instill, like a father figure in the house, a motherly kind of figure in the house, eh, to really cement those kinds of that structure in the household, like for kids and for the people that come in, to also instill uh that kind of influence, but I feel like when it comes to parenting specifically, I feel like nowadays it really is up for interpretation, but I feel like that's pretty important.
Leading by example.
Right.
I get it. I love it. What a wonderful answer. Okay, Juan, we're back to you. What personal goals are you currently working towards?
Personally, right now, as of right now, I'm mostly thinking of I was really thinking about going to college. Like that's something that I've been trying to do myself. It's not something that I'm committed of, yes, but it's like something one of the goals that I would like to do, like just going to college and finishing all 4 years, because that's something that my parents have always wanted me to do, and that's something that I feel like will make them proud. So that's something that I'm definitely looking into. Another goal of myself is finally owning a house, like being able to like purchase my first home. I feel like that's going to be such an accomplishment to know that I'm the one who bought a house, and now my kids are going to live there, my family's going to live there. So those are two goals I can say as of right now. The first one isn't so much clear, but the second one is like that's something that will be major for me. So yeah.
And that's okay. Sometimes in life, we don't know at that moment what we really want until it actually just comes to us. So
That's
don't
true.
At least you have the thought, and that's a start. So don't even worry. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you, thank you.
So Jay, let's see what we can ask Jay. How do you define success? And do you feel you have achieved it?
For me, as of right now, I mean, success would probably be, people would imagine, money, having a big house, but honestly, I feel like if you feel okay where you are, obviously you can always do better, but I feel like if you're content with what you have and you feel satisfied with having what you have, there's you can always, keep it going, get more, do better, but as of right now, I feel pretty okay. I feel pretty successful when it comes to my hobbies and my social life, money wise, I could always do better, but um yeah, I could always do better, but yeah, no, I feel like it's up for interpretation, but I feel like I'm good right now.
Awesome, awesome. There's nothing wrong with that, my dear, at all. Um, okay, let's see. I'm trying to see if I ran out of questions. Oh my goodness. Uh, Juan, we're going back to you. Let's see. How do you cultivate meaningful relationships with friends and peers?
Just like what Jacob was saying earlier about, always having somebody to, speak to, always, be friends with. I feel like always starting a relationship from scratch is really important because, you know, being friendly isn't has no negative side to it. So it's like always building a relationship with somebody is only gonna bring somebody up. Definitely, you know, somebody who isn't really, like, how would I describe this? Friendly per se,
Mhm.
like they don't really, how do I say, I can't really get it out of my mouth right now. Sorry, Miss Pause.
No,
Um
don't be sorry. I think I know what you're gonna say.
yeah, it's like, because I've had friends in the past, and going based off of my experience, I've always tried to, keep up with my friends. I always try to keep in touch with them. So it's like it it's only brought me up from there. Like anytime I needed a favor, they was there for me. Anytime they needed a favor, I was there for them. So it's like it's always good to have a friend.
And the quality of trust.
Yeah, trust is a really big part too.
And having that positive energy to uplift each other and encourage each other. So I get what you're
Could
saying.
could I could I add on to that?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, so I also feel like you never know who you could become friends with too, like it wouldn't even have to do with like the influence that they have. You could also be at that, like that could also be like, like your lifelong friend. And you just met this person, but you can meet them for the entire rest of your life, and they could make a really big impact on you. And vice versa, because a lot of times, people go through things and they don't really have that outlet to be able to express what they feel, so having that person, have you being there for that person at that exact moment, it could be exactly what they needed for them to be able to move forward with their lives.
Yeah, and
Because
they
a lot.
wouldn't
Oh
know
yeah,
it.
continue, my bad, my
My, sorry.
bad.
But like you were saying, Miss Lindina, it's like you don't people. Some people don't know that they need a friend until they actually have the right person to. It's
Right.
like you never know. You always find the right person. You'll find somebody who's gonna uplift you. That's really all you need in life. People who uplift you. Bring that circle. You go up. You're going up only.
Right, right. No, I mean, and like both of you had said, it's you never know who you might meet. We meet people all day long with what we do, and so like you see me, I'm always meeting people all day, and they turn out to be meaningful relationships. Who would have thought, at that moment, but you don't know until you actually get to correspond with them and find out what they're about and so on and so forth. Some of them, yeah, but majority of the ones that I have, they've been really, really good. So, you guys came up with some really nice answers here, guys. I Glad to have you guys up here. I already knew that you had this in you, so that's why I wanted you to participate. Um, all right, so Jay, I didn't ask you, what advice would you give to younger men navigating today's world?
Don't let things get you down, man, because depression is very real. Anxiety, mental health is very, very important. Anxiety is very real. Um, I don't know, it gets to me sometimes, but it's always good to have someone if you need someone to talk to, if you need that professional help, it's always good to look for it. Um, and just keep it moving, man. Like, try to get as much help as you can, try to influence as many people as you can, do your big one and before you gotta do what you gotta do, but yeah, man, look for help when you need it.
Right, right. And don't be afraid to ask for help. A lot of people,
Right, yeah.
it's hard for them to even, ask for help or, just open up. So that's why I have this platform, because I want it to be a comfortable platform to where people are comfortable. They can come up here, they could talk about whatever they could talk about, personal, mental, whatever it is. And they don't feel compelled or they don't feel judged or anything like that. So that's why I have these. And I'm so grateful to have both of you take the time out of your day to come and, discuss these things. So
Of course.
um, I'm going to give you maybe one more or maybe two more questions. Um, let's see. Ah, this is for you, Juan. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, Miss Linda.
The most influential person in your life and why?
The most influential person in life, I'll have to say my parents, but somebody who stands out is my dad for sure, because he's a man, Miss Linda, who how do I say this? Sometimes I see him as somebody who is very strict, not with his child or anything, but just a strict person. Like he doesn't even like going. You know how we have speed cameras in New York? It's like the maximum speed is 25. He always likes to go below the speed limit. If there's any law that has to be anything that has to do with the law, the man is always below that and respecting the law. And I feel like if you go and you have a person like that in your life, there's no way that you can, see yourself failing. It's somebody who I always looked up to, and I feel like he's the right role model for me, and it's somebody who I'm always going to be grateful having in my life. So it's definitely my dad. My dad is my role model.
That's wonderful. That's really beautiful. I love it. I love it. And I'm going to throw that question to you, Jay.
Oh, for me, I love my mama, man.
Yeah.
My mama is my biggest influence. She's been with me in like a lot of rough patches in my life, It not to like I don't really mind putting my business out there, but like before I used to be a really sick kid, being in and out the hospital and stuff, and ain't no one was there the way my mom was, like fighting for me for my medications and taking care of me when no one else could. Even like the amount of times that she would like postpone work just to be at my side, like it, and she's taught me like a lot, like I feel like not, I mean, my dad's in my life too, but not no one compares to my mom ever.
Mm, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yes, our mothers are very important, and so are our dads. And it's great that we have, the privilege to have them, because not everybody has their parents in their life. So to hear you to, just give such a great report about your parents, your mom and your dad, it's amazing. It's wonderful to hear, you know. I myself can brag about my parents. I was blessed to have two moms and two dads. Unfortunately, both my dads are deceased, but they made a huge impact in my life. I know what it's like to have a great man in my life. So, it's just it's refreshing to know that I got that opportunity. So, I wanted to ask you guys, so is there anything else that you feel that anybody else needs to know, as far as you know, how the world is turning right now, because it's very hard out there for everyone. They're going through a lot of adversity, trials, tribulations. Is there any other advice that you could give to uplift, to encourage? Jay?
Um, for me, I'd probably just say just do you the best you can, man, cause do you the best you can. I can't really, I'm gonna just keep it as that at that one liner, man.
Okay, I accept it. Juan?
I'll go visit the same thing, do you, and also Miss Linda. It's really important to keep yourself, to always have knowledge. If you have knowledge, there's nothing that's gonna stop you. You're always gonna be succeeding in anything you do. So always seeking out for the right answers, asking questions. Hey, there ain't nothing can buy that. That's knowledge is priceless. So yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I'll say knowledge. Yeah.
No, it's nothing like having knowledge, because it can only make you, go further, But I was gonna say, also value your time. Time is very big. We don't do that enough. We don't value our time. We don't take that self-care, take care of ourselves, do what we have to do right now instead of putting it off for tomorrow, because we're not promised tomorrow. So that's one thing I wanted to put out there, not to scare anyone, but just to be honest and to be real. We're losing people day by day, every day, and we just want to make sure that we leave a mark in this world. Like, we really do something influential or something impactful for someone. We're here not just for ourselves, but for other people, So, stay kind, be empathetic, loving, don't let people drive you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, even though it does here and there.
Yeah.
They can ruffle your feathers, but you got to grab yourself back and know that, what, just woosah, we got this. So I want to thank you guys for taking this time to be up here. I am so grateful, and I look forward to even future ones.
Yes.
Again, if there's anything else that you guys want to, discuss or say or mention, feel free.
Yeah. Knowledge. That's the most important one. I feel like, like I said earlier, knowledge was Linda.
Right. Okay, guys. So I am going to end this, and I again thank you so much for coming on this platform. I'm so honored to have you guys.
No problem. This was actually kind of fun. I wasn't expecting it to be so, just keep the ball moving, but it was fun.
Yeah, we could do it again some other day.
Yeah.
Thank you. Definitely. I look forward to having you guys. So with that said, you guys have an amazing weekend, and everyone out there, I hope that whatever that these two gentlemen have mentioned or said, that it helps you somewhere along in your life, and maybe make you think of the things that could influence you, encourage you, or just things that you could think of doing, All right. So guys, have a great night, and I'll speak to you soon.
All right, Linda. Goodbye. Stay safe and blessed.
Yes, definitely, guys. Thank you.
All right.